This lawnmower is going to be named Sarah, and I'm going to try to save this mower. I got it for free off the internet. The guy said he was tired of trying to get it to run. Obviously the cable that shuts it off, the brake cable, is broken. It's just laying here like that. It has duct tape, black duct tape, as a cover on the oil drain tube, oil fill and drain tube, and I have no idea what all that is. That could be what's part of a mouse nest or something that he rigged, I don't know. There's the spark plugs, a lot of oil and grime on that. I can't tell if that's correct or not. It does take a bag. I think I tried to move these wheel adjusters and thinking they were frozen, but I don't know that just yet. I can't remember when I first looked at this mower. It's a Bolens 21-inch Briggs & Stratton 550E series. It's 158 cc, so that's a pretty good size. 5.5 pounds gross torque. This air filter holder is on backwards, so the pointed end goes this way, and it kind of fits in a little angled spot back there. So you want the flat front end in the front. This is a Pulsajet tank and carburetor. It's the more modern version, so it doesn't have the air vane. It has an automatic governor and links to that very fragile spring right there. And this really is kind of a bad design because a lot of people buy mowers to trim around their house, and they'll run the front of the mower up into a bush, under a bush, and try to trim around all around the bottom of it. And what happens is the limbs go up here and here, and they hit that spring and just knock it out of there. And as you can see, it's a very tiny spring, very fragile. And so this is not a great design. They should have figured out a way to close this off with some kind of plastic cover or metal or something, just so limbs don't go flying up in there and knock the governor spring off. And that happened recently with me with one of my mowers. It wouldn't run, and I had to help this lady figure it out, and it had just knocked the spring off. All right, so let's see what is gonna happen with this mower. Before I go beyond that, let's take a look at the blade, make sure there is a blade and what condition it's in. So there is the blade. It looks okay. It's not sitting way up in the deck, which I'm always worried about. There might be a little leak around that main seal, I'm not sure. I'm looking for critters now. I don't see them. I see a lot of webs. So let's put this back down. And this is it's either a mulching mower or it will bag, but it is never going to discharge out the side because that's solid. And this is really designed for mulching when you see this big lift right here from the deck up. It's almost 3 inches straight up, and that's to give more mulching room up in here under the deck to mulch the cuttings. And that's necessary since there is no discharge chute. So right now it's a mulching mower because I do not have a bag for this. So let's set the camera down and see if we can figure out what is wrong with Sarah, the Briggs & Stratton engine push mower on a Bolens deck. first thing we've got to do is figure out what's going on with the rewinder. I did mention that there is no pull cord; it's just gone. So let's figure this out. It's going to require a 1/4 inch socket, and I really recommend, if you're going to try to work on one of these, that you get you a cordless drill, because this screw here is long, and it would take you a long time to just get a screwdriver and turn that out. So we're looking for see an ants around. I wonder if the ants came off of this mower. So right now I'm looking for one of my 1/4 inch extension, so I can put this socket on here. And I am not seeing one handy right now. I'm gonna keep looking. Bear with me here. I need to find one. I usually have 2 or 3 laying around, but not right now. Where did they all go? Oh, okay, I got it in this drill right here. So let me get that out. This drill doesn't have a lot of power or speed, but this one does. This Ryobi drill. So let me get this loaded up. And again, this is a 1/4 inch. And to get to that rewinder, I've got to take off this vanity cover, and there's a screw here and a screw in the back. This one is always real long. The one back here may not be quite as long. And sometimes these get stripped and they don't come out, and that's a problem. But hopefully that will be the case today. So it's coming out. A little bit more. All right, so that's loose. Let's try this one now. That one's loose. All right, let me get my work gloves on. There's a bunch of stuff on this table I need to clear out. Wow. The primer bulb here may work, it may not, but I don't like it when they, what I call, leave the pink thumb. See all that? That means this thing is really starting to corrode, but it is flexible, so I mean it's usable, but not pretty. All right, so this is coming off now. There is a little clip up here that, so even though I got the screwdriver, there's a little clip that fits down into the rewinder, so I gotta pop that off. Let's see if I can get it off. There we go. See that little hole? It slips in a slot right there. And this is that big clip right there. It got a little arrow-shaped thing on the end that holds it in place. It kind of clips on it. It goes on the big screws. I don't want to lose that. They are both the same length. Okay, good. Let me set that over there. This mower has the side mount oil dipstick with duct tape on it. So I think I'm just going to replace that whole thing, because I work on mowers so much. I've got one over here, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is the right one, but I can also put a regular dipstick on there and repair it that way. So let's do that. I'll just get a regular dipstick, and that is the kind. That is this kind with the 2 little knobs sticking up. So let me retrieve one of these out of my Jet supply bag. Pick out a good one. As you can see, I work on a lot of mowers. In order to have this many dipsticks, that means that engine was blown or unusable. And I've gathered over the years, so let's see, that looks like a pretty clean one right there. All right, so there's my new dipstick. Let me see if it'll go in there. So I'm gonna pull this one out. I don't want that debris to get down in there, so let me get a toothbrush and clean around that. And they designed these so that either this type of dipstick and tube will go in there, or, oh, there is no dipstick. That's interesting. So, well, I guess not. That's why the tape's on there. So, let me screw this in, and I'm going to see if there's any oil in this mower. I hope there is. If not, we could be in trouble. Maybe I can't save this mower. There's a little bit of oil in there. It doesn't look great. It may be water contaminated. Just judging by the appearance, it might be. I'll have to, I may drain all that out before I do anything with this mower, since he had that tape on there. So we'll get back to that. I'm going to go in under this rewinder to find out what all that string is hanging off of there. And to do that, I need, and by the way, this did fit. It did screw in, so that will work on these Jet engines, that type of dipstick. Okay. So now I need a 3/8 socket. Let me get my big extension on here. That'll help a little. Taking this one on the front off first. Oh man, that's tight. Good Lord. Wow. Yeah, they're all tight. Woo! Okay, that one wasn't too bad. Those are super tight. So these little 3/8 are all going to come out. And we're going to look under there. I can see some of the pull string hanging down where it's been destroyed, and it's hanging down there in, near the flywheel. So that's going to be a mess. Let me get this third one out here. There we go. Okay. So that is the pull cord string that's hanging out of there, is what that was. That all looks pretty clean under there, really. I do see some signs of a mouse living in here at one time. There's the little acorns that he ate and left behind. That's several of those. I'm going to go ahead and grab those without needing those pliers and get them out of there. Just kind of clean up the leftover groceries from the mouse. Once upon a time, a little mouse lived in here and had his dinner. Ate little acorns. I think I just saw an ant. There could be an ant nest somewhere on this mower. That does happen. There's still some debris up in there. Little acorns and what have you. Come on out of there, you guys. Alright, let's look at the coil. Coil is, I don't know, 3/8 or 3/8 or 3/8. 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 3/ air gap looks okay. Let me set these screws down. And now we're going to see if it has compression, because I'm going to take the spring off of this kill switch by using my handmade tool, which is a pull cord handle with some heavy wire on it. And I'm going to grab the hook on the end of this spring and pull it towards me and down. And now I can move this kill switch away and the brake away. Let's see. There we go. I think that moved it away. Not enough. I'm going to go ahead and get that cable out of there. The cable is keeping me from moving the switch to a position where it would run. The cable's off now. Let's set that out of the way. And now let's see if this engine has compression. Let's find out. Let's slowly turn this. Yep. So this engine does have good compression. Making funny noises, but that's okay. That could be because there's water in that oil. I'm going to think positive on this mower and assume that it's going to run. Let me look underneath and see if there's a drain plug on this mower. Yes, there is. That's what I was hoping for. I need to clear out a lot of these spider webs. Let me make sure there's not something big and dangerous up in here. That main seal does look like it's leaking, but it's not. I don't see any drips, you know. I just see some moisture. I'm just looking for critters right now. I don't see anything that's going to bite me just yet. Okay, let me run a broom down in there. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to look and see if this wobbles. If it does, then there may be some wobble there. This crankshaft may be a little bent. Okay, I'm going to watch where it touches over here and see if it moves. No, that's good. So now I'm going to see up here if it's in the same spot. Yeah, maybe it's not bent. Okay, that's good news. So let me get this thing. I really want to drain the oil out of there. So that's the drain plug right there. The way to get that out is to use a socket extension, a 3/8, which is like this 3/8 socket extension. It fits right in that drain plug. And then you can unscrew it. But I don't like the way that oil looks at all. I'm thinking there might be water in there. Let's find out. And then since he had duct tape on that oil drain tube, he may have left it out in the weather before he figured out he didn't have a dipstick for it. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to get this to where it's almost ready to fall out, see? Not quite. It may drip on me a little bit, but because I don't want to reach under here and have to be twisting around too much. Okay, it's going to stay until I get the bottom half of the milk jug. And I'm going to put this mower up on blocks. Let me do that. And I want to be able to reach up under here with my hands and unscrew this, and also have room for the half a gallon, bottom of the half a gallon drain pan homemade. Okay, so there we go. Now, so now I can put this half a gallon drain pan under there, and it's going to drain right into that. But first I need to get me a good rubber glove on, because that oil is going to get on me. There we go. Now I can pull that drain plug out, and I want to make sure that it's under. It's under there, so I'm going to kind of watch, make sure I'm hitting the target with this thing. There we go. Yep, let's go right on it. And I'm pretty sure there's water in that oil. Just judging by the look of it, it looks like gray mud instead of oil. And I had one like that just a couple of days ago that was full of water, and I had to get all the water out. So I drained it all out, then I put a whole bunch of kerosene in the oil, down the oil filler tube. Put a bunch of it in there and just let it sit there a while. And I drained it out and got the old diesel out, not diesel, but the old kerosene out, and so it's a repeat, you know, you get the water out and the oil mixture, and then you fill it with kerosene and drain that out, and you might want to do it again, put more kerosene in and drain that out, and then I put old oil in it that I knew was good, it's just old. And then I make sure the mower is going to run with that, and it did. And then I get rid of that old oil and I put some more oil until finally you feel like okay, I've cleaned out all the bad stuff in there, the water and and the kerosene and everything. And then you finally put some good brand new oil in it, and then you're ready to go. And it worked fine. That mower was running great. It was a little orange Husqvarna modern engine, overhead valve engine, and it's full of water. But don't give up on these Briggs & Stratton, because they're amazing engines. Tough, tough, tough. So anyway, that's enough for now. Stay tuned. When you come back, we'll see if we can get Sarah running.